I made a video. I made a video a while back. I'm like so embarrassed right now. I'm not embarrassed for crying. I'm embarrassed for posing. For making a video while I'm crying, right? But I was thinking earlier about that video I made before about how we should feel better about crying in front of each other. The world's sad. And because we all pretend like we're not sad, even to ourselves, like me especially to myself, you know, because of that, that pretending is an infection. Why I was crying now, I was watching Cloud Atlas, which is maybe one of my favorite movies, or it's my favorite movie of the moment. I was just thinking about how important it sounds silly, but the Raphael Code, what I call the Raphael Code, or the Raphael Prophecy, Queen Anne's Lace, Eastern Wild Turkey, the nexus of all that symbolism and the story that tells through time. People understood it would change everything. Everything. And it's so hard. It's like I wanted I'm sorry. On the one hand, on the one hand, I feel like it was left for me. It wasn't, it was left for us. But, but no one else is telling it. I mean, it's told between the lines through history. Many are telling it. But it has to be told, like, translated in a way that people can understand. Because that's gonna change everything. Forever. And I don't understand why I'm part of this story. I don't understand why I'm part of this story. If I were looking at myself as someone else, I could understand. Because I understand people's inherent value, you know. But the story is so big. And it touches all of us. It is about the truth. And I get everything wrong. Just about. But yeah, so I guess that's part of like bearing the cross. which I guess also kind of relates back to what little I know about, like, the tribe of Melchizedek. A lot of years ago, I listened to like a 40-hour lecture on Melchizedek. I still don't get it, but I'm working on it. Though, it's worth noting the connection between Melchizedek, was it Abraham, changing of names, kind of like Saul to Paul, which is like soul to pole. A soul is a monad, and a monad is a point. So that has to do with the Apollonian L circle, Ptolemy's theorem, and a pole, which has to do with universal hyperbolic geometry and the I can't remember what it's called. The pole independence theorem? Something like that. I've referenced it before. I'm still trying to figure it out, and it hits me in waves like something hit me today, you know? It's just really weird that studying geometry brings truth. It's the weirdest thing. Not just what they teach in school, but digging into it and then doing something and not understanding it, and doing something and getting it wrong, and then asking why is that wrong, and how that relates to reason, and then how that couples back to stories and the way we live our lives. But then also how being wrong in the ways that we think, and I would not suggest living the way that I live. Smoke, drink, lack of exercise, all that kind of stuff. Cowardiceness. And I guess biblically, that might remind me of the difference between the priesthood of Aaron and the priesthood of Melchizedek. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say again, which is why I'm crying, and like why the Raphael code and everything is so important. The Raphael prophecy is it has to do with bread and wine. Abraham, essentially, whatever. Everybody knows about Abraham, a lot more than me. But the interaction with Melchizedek and the bread and the wine. No lamb, no lamb's blood, no tabernacle, no scrolls, yeast, breath, leavening, levity, lightness. Ha ha ha. Though it is funny that Aaron was of the Levites, which is so close to leaven. And Melchizedek had bread and wine, which is from yeast, which is leavening, which gives body to the bread. Which gives alcohol to the wine. One could say bubbles to the beer, but it's not quite like that. So maybe it is all one story. Except Melchizedek, what is it? No parents, no descendants in the priesthood chosen. But then Aaron, I guess that would mean Aaron had parents and offspring. Melchizedek don't die. Aaron does. Yet they're both associated with the leaven. How so? What kind? Is that the difference between yeast and baking soda? Or baking powder? Anyway, it's a big job, and to quote Mike Myers, Wayne's World, WW, upside down, and Garth, not Brooks, uh, Dana Carvey, who gave a really great stand-up comedy performance back in 1990, 5. Because I remember watching it just before I dropped out of high school or college after my first couple months at Rivier College down in Nashua, New Hampshire. After I accidentally, I didn't light my room on fire, but it was lit on fire due to my negligence, though I would have dropped out anyway. But that pretty much sealed the deal. It's worth noting that after the fire extinguisher was released in the room, my room was kind of like quarantined until like it could be like, we're supposed to have hazmat people come in or whatever. I don't know. That never happened, but anyway, we had to break in. Well, me and some of my friends broke in like the next day to get the Corona beer out of the closet. I always remember that. So we climbed through the window, stole my own beer. the leavening. Anyway, man, I don't know why I'm screwed up. And that's just one of those stories. It's like, why am I on this trail? Like, I'm telling you, man, it's so huge. And if I can tell the story the way it flutters through my mind, you know, sometimes in like 5 minutes, I have like 10 hours worth of oratory just go. And meanwhile, I'm just like. And in one way, I'm very overwhelmed on a human level. On my human level, I'm very overwhelmed by that torrent. And it's like, how the hell am I going to do this? How the heck am I going to do this? You know. But then on a spiritual level, on a very deep, personal, regular guy level, I'm like, if I can actually do this, it will be the most beautiful thing that has been made. Not by me, but I'm the guy who's going to tell the story? Me? You can't, are you kidding me? But then, you know, and that, you know, I've been listening to St. Jerome lately. It's fucked up, man. But like I've been listening to St. Jerome lately. You know, audiobooks, translations of St. Jerome's writings, his letters to, you know, this person, that person. Dude was a pervert. You know, look at, you know, St. Ignatius. Not that I'm trying to strictly stick to the saints, but the saints are important. St. Ignatius of Loyola wanted to be a war dude, gallivanted. He was a garish rake of sorts, much like Raphael. But yeah, Jerome, pervert. Weak, frail, you know, very wanting of reward. Change the world. Some would say for worse, but we really have to consider the alternatives. Never mind into like the whole pagan versus Christian thing. It's a false dichotomy. You know, same with Gnostics. What people consider Gnostics and how like Gnostics thought the world was an evil place created by an evil god. At best, that's an oversimplification, but it's not even that. It's knowledge. And anyway, I've put my hand in morality over ethics, which is a huge gamble that most people don't make these days. And one of the reasons is because there's no philosophy for it. That's what we're working on, because that's the truth. Because what's coming will not be what was. Whether good or bad. If it's bad, we're all toast. And it will be very different. If it's good, we have a shot. And it will be very different. So catalyst does a lot. Small things can do a lot. One little itty bitty drop of acid sets this whole body, mind out of it, right? Or out of my normal it. Your parents yell at you. Gone. A cute girl you care for so much as looks at you with just a little bit of a smile. Just a little bit of that tuba red in that gray abondo. A drop of saliva in a pool of lamprey eels. Sense them ferocious. It's all cool and calm. You might not even know that there's a pool of lamprey eels there. You put one drop of saliva, human saliva in it, and they go fucking crazy. And that's the type of reason or empiricism. I don't remember which kind of logic it is. Or what type of reasoning it is, but that's what reminds me that even something small as me matters. And who knows? Even something small as me could make a difference. And that difference might only be this one video in this few seconds where I convince you that you are that small thing that changes everything. That could be the whole purpose of my entire life, is whoever you are watching this video. That could be the whole reason why I'm alive. It's for this couple minutes, this half hour that you've gotten into. Everything else I've done might not matter. It might have all been just to get me to this moment, to tell you that you matter. And because you understand what I'm saying, that gives you just that, there's the camel that, or there's the straw that broke the camel's back, but also there's that extra hand that pushes the stone. There's 1,000 hands on a stone, but that extra hand is the one that pushes it. That might be me. That might be the whole reason I'm alive. Just to say that to you. That you matter, that you're magical. That we all matter. And if we don't all get there together, none of us get there. That's the message. And if I fail, may you succeed. May you succeed where I've failed.
I got if I if I got if I got that to you, I succeed. Even if I don't get there. I want to. I want to get there. But we getting there is more important because no one gets there without us. But that doesn't place the collective above the individual. It equates individuals. And that's also very important to understand. I hope you're having a good day. And if you're not, I hope you're lucky enough to cry instead of rage. I hope you're lucky enough to cry instead of torment yourself with the voices that they, it, the other it, has placed within you that aren't your own. I know those voices very well. That parasite, that multi-pronged, multi-headed, multi-faced parasite that dominates the mind most of the time. So I hope you're having a good day, and if not, I hope you're fighting the good fight and that you have the strength you need. And I hope you have the right kind of humor. Some people say all comedy and all laughing is the same. That's not true. I hope you have the good kind, the good smile. And I hope that if you're raging or trembling or laughing wrong, I hope you can find communion with that piece of yourself soon that you most love. I kind of I kind of most love this guy. I know it when I feel it. I need all the other guys too. And I shouldn't even say I most love this guy, but I really love this guy. And all those other guys within me protect this guy so that this guy can protect Agnes. That we may not lose her this time. Again, I'm embarrassed, but this isn't my most embarrassing video. Auf Wiedersehen.